Hello, and welcome to the 45th episode of the Council of Goatmen. With me here today is Axolotl,
So,
and I've been watching horrible histories, so I have like a bunch of new knowledge that I want to share, and I thought you'd be the perfect person since we're very, uh, you're my Wikipedia guy.
uh,
uh, so, I learned a lot. Do you know what horrible histories is? Have you ever seen it?
is it like drunk history or am I misremembering?
No. It's a British show. And they basically they it's like it's all like like the most disgusting or like just like weird things of history. Like basically the stuff that they don't teach you in school is basically it what it is. So it's
Uh,
like it's all like this is how what toilets were back then. This is
oh boy.
the disgusting medical practices they had and like things like that. Um and it's not always disgusting. Like sometimes it's just like, oh, this like was guy was extravagant, or like he went like there was a Roman emperor that went to war with like the sea or something like that. Like or sometimes it's just like stupid stuff.
Uh,
Or they have one segment called Stupid Deaths where they just go over basically like someone died in a really dumbass way, which is
hmm.
always great.
Oh, so
Um,
it's like Darwin Awards.
um, what I'm trying to think what is Darwin Awards?
Darwin Awards is exactly what you're describing. It's basically congratulating people on taking themselves out of the gene pool.
Ah, cool. But yeah, that's just one segment of the show, but it's really good.
Uh,
You would really like it. Like, if you want to just watch, like, if you do you have Hulu? It's on Hulu. That's where I'm watching
uh,
it.
I think I don't know if I'm able to like access it though because it's my sister's.
Oh well, I can look it. I'll look it up in a second. But I'm sure it's on other stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm watching it on Hulu personally. But anyway, there's a. I'll start with the Viking stuff because that's what I promised. So I learned that words, some interesting words came from Vikings. So give me a second. Uh, let's see. Anger, kidnap, um, ransack. That one seems pretty reasonable. Scream, thump, slaughter, and shy. Shy came from Viking language. That's
I
pretty
think
cool.
my knowledge of like Old Norse is pretty limited, but I know that the word "gave" is from the Old Norse "goth." So like there are even like really common words that are from Old Norse.
Yeah. Um, berserk. That one makes sense because of berserkers.
Yeah.
Um, scare. Um, all right. I'm like, okay, berserk. Yeah, I already got that one. Die. I like that. Die is from that. Oh, cake. Cake is also Viking.
Yeah, there's
Um,
actually a really good there's a really good Old Norse dictionary that's just entirely free online.
there
It's
was
really
one.
cool.
I think it was like Smash was Viking. Welcome. The word welcome was Viking.
Yeah,
Like
welcome would be willkommen. Let's see,
that's
Smash.
I think Smash was in there. There's a couple other ones I can't remember though.
Let's see. The only thing that comes up for Smash is Legia. I trust you though.
Yeah. And let's see. I have another list here. That says like old of Norse words. Blunder, choose, scrape, axle. Yeah, it's I don't know. For anyone who
Otter
finds this
also comes from
interesting.
Old Norse, apparently.
Other interesting thing is it was oh, hold on, there's a few more. Freckle was Viking.
Oh,
Husband.
interesting.
Huh. Thursday.
Yeah,
Ugly.
all the like weekday names are actually named after Norse gods.
Hmm. Window. Troll. All right, interesting. Um. Okay. So, and also, what I learned about was things invented by Greeks. There's like some things that you like would expect. It's like, oh, philosophy and whatnot, but it's like then there's some things. It's like uh air and water pumps, alarm clock, apparently
Huh.
yo-yos. Uh, I'm looking at this Wikipedia article. Artificial intelligence? How the fuck?
That that seems like it would be a very like old form of artificial intelligence.
Yeah, that definitely. I'm like, there ain't no. Hold on, let me read. Despite the legends, Despite the legends and myths of Greek mythologies, many ancient Greeks believed that many modern mechanisms could have their own will despite human labor to use them as tools. Many Greeks had written. Oh, so they just wrote stories about it. They didn't invent it.
Uh, but
They invented the idea of it, basically.
but
They didn't actually.
uh, have you
It's
heard
not
of
like
like the
they didn't write
Viking?
computer intelligence. Is okay.
Yeah, yeah. Have you heard of the Viking like bathing ritual?
I have not.
So basically, what Vikings would do every day, at least like the dude Vikings, they would have an unmarried woman basically, well, first off, so they would all be in like their longhouse and they would be in a circle. And then this maiden woman would come up with like a pail of water essentially. And every single person in there would wash themselves off in the same pail of water.
Hmm.
And like apparently they would like
Speaking of
spit
which, it says
and like drool in it and like wash their noses in it. Just like madly disgusting stuff.
hmm. Speaking of which, it also says Greeks invented bathtubs and showers.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, there was another Viking fact that I loved. Is that Vikings would write poetry. It made me so happy.
Yeah, the flitting.
Yeah, they would make up rhymes to remember things. I thought that was fucking
Oh,
awesome.
I didn't know that. But yeah, Vikings would have like these rap battles without music, as I like to describe them, where they would just
That,
insult each other in verse.
that's awesome. I'm just gonna read through this Greek list of inventions, and anytime I see one that's interesting, I'm gonna mention it. So, catapult, cement, central heating. That one I thought was that one I thought was cool. Cheesecake. Um,
Cheesecake?
cheesecake. Apparently. Um, clock tower. Crane, as in the machine. Uh, cybernetics. uh, don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm just gonna Thespius. I don't fucking know how to pronounce that. And others such as Heron are considered to be some of the first to study cybernetic principles. Democracy. Uh, let's see. Elevator. Uh, fascism. Oh no. Fire hose, fire pump, flamethrower. Uh, I thought flamethrowers were invented in during World War II.
I thought I thought what it's probably referring to is that like they would set like pots of oil on fire and then put them into catapults and stuff.
Greek fire heated in a brazier and pressurized by means of a pump was ejected by an operator through a siphon in any direction against the enemy.
Huh.
Alternatively, it could be poured down from swivel cranes or hurled in pottery grenades.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Flushable pedestal toilets, flying machine, football, not as in soccer. I think they mean as in. Do they mean? I don't know if they mean soccer or if they mean
No, they do
American
mean
football.
soccer. They
Okay.
mean soccer. I'm looking at the
Uh,
list. It says if you the little link to the next of it, soccer.
okay. Geology, glasses, globe. This list goes on for a while. Headband. If so, basically, I'm not gonna read this whole thing because if this podcast is just me reading things, I feel like that's gonna get boring. But if you want to look at the things that Greeks invented, it's very interesting. I mean, for some people, not for all people, but
They
I
invented
find
the
it
pan
extremely
flute
interesting.
and
Kebab,
the pipe organ.
lighthouse. I knew that one. Marathon, marine biology, market economy. Grigsby invented some fucking neuroscience. Non-stick surface. Okay. Speaking also of inventing things, we have Shakespeare. There's a lot of words and phrases that he apparently invented, and some of them are just like blew my mind. Like some of them are like, okay, he used it in a like phrase in a book, but whatever, and we just still use it. But there's some where it's like, wait, that's just like a basic thing. Like Wild Goose Chase was him. Good
Oh,
Riddance was him. Uh, Bedazzled. Love is Blind. Bated Breath. Break the Ice. But then there's some where you're just like, wait, what? Lonely was invented by him. Uh,
really?
Critic. Um, Generous. Swagger, apparently.
Wait, I have to.
He invented the word eyeball, apparently. Manager, majestic, eventful, and radiance. He also apparently invented knock knock jokes. So there's that. Um,
Oh yeah, we were reading that in Macbeth with Ferguson. Where
um,
like there's a scene in Macbeth where like people where there's this porter and he's like really really drunk. And there's
mhm.
someone knocking at the door and he's basically like knock knock knock.
All right. That's not really. It's not really a joke.
No, it goes on, but like he screams knock 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 and keeps like making jokes.
Oh. Um, and then I was looking at Reddit, and someone said apparently he's also made the first year. It might not be the first year mom joke, but it is a year mom joke in Shakespeare, and it's in Titus or the fuck I can't speak Titus Andronicus, uh, where Demetrius says, "Villain, what hast thou done?" Aaron says, "That which thou canst not undo." Chiron, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna get belittled in the comments. Thou hast undone our mother, and Aaron says, "Villain, I have done thy mother." That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I didn't know like that. Oh, in a pickle is also him. Um,
Interesting.
it's addiction.
Hmm.
Uh, it's so wild. Like I don't know. I find like I mean, I'm already like super fascinated by like language in general. I think
Yeah.
anyone who knows me knows that. Like I love language. And so learning that like just such basic things that we use it was just I don't know, the idea of it being invented by just one person is like fascinating to me. Like I don't know, it's just like it's just language. It's like I don't know. Like I know it's not like God's invented it, but it's like that like
Yeah.
because I'm like, all right, how was language invented? Because how did someone say the definition of a word before there was words to define the definition of the word?
Bro, that reminds me of that one post that's like Elephants have a specific noise for "there are bees here, we should leave immediately. Why aren't we as humans that smart?" And someone goes, "We do have a sound for that. It's called 'there are bees here, let's leave immediately.'"
Yeah. That's it's so weird to me to think about, like, a time before the word lonely was used. That's such I use
Yeah.
that word all the fucking time. How the fuck, like, imagining a world where that's not even a thing. Oh, and another thing, like, that's just really weird to me is like looking at um the Stone Age, looking at cavemen, and that's I mean, it's not like it's a very primitive human, but it's still a human. But like they have no language, and they're just like bumbling idiots. It's like this is a person, but it's like not a person. What am I looking at right now? It's like it's very weird. It's a very surreal feeling. It's like
I
this is a
mean,
human, but it is not a human. And
part
there
of
was a
it is that before like in literal prehistory where there isn't written language, you're talking about like everything you have would be oral tradition, so you literally can like learn almost nothing. And that I think is what makes it really weird.
Yeah, and they had a sketch in the show where um, it's like the last Neanderthals before they died out meeting the first like Homo sapiens, and like Homo sapiens are like having like a dinner party, and like the Neanderthals are just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's like yeah, that's like how did I mean it obviously wasn't that big of a jump, but it's like man, it's like I mean there had to be some sort of jump to
Yeah.
get where we are. Like thinking about how we got from people like scooping brains out with a rock and shit. uh and then now today where we have like I don't fucking know how my TV works. I just turn it on and it works. It's crazy.
Bro, that's like the perfect quote. I don't know how my TV works. I just turn it on and it works.
It is. I don't know how it works. I'm just like I okay, cause I have ADHD, so somewhat no, like listen. I don't know how normal people think, but this is how I think normal people think: is they have a thought and they go, "Huh, that's interesting," and then they just that's it for them. Like maybe they Google it, but that's pretty much it. Not with ADHD. If I
Oh
have a
yeah.
thought, I'm like, I need to know everything about this right now, and then I learn everything about it. I'm like, and then I go down this rabbit hole. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and then I learn all about that thing, and then I'm like, whoa, this person's super cool. I want to learn more about them, and I'm like, whoa, they invented this, and then I'm like lost in like 20 hours of research that I didn't need to know.
Bro, that's
like,
me to a T.
like, um. I just have I'm like, oh, how does a TV work? How do these little color things get on that? What is that? How does that work? Yeah, I look up how TV works. I'm gonna do this right after the episode though, because I haven't actually done this. But I mentioned TV, so this is my example
Are you
now.
talking
And
about
then
like
I'm like,
how pixels work or how TV in general works?
oh, how pixels work, I guess.
So pixels have like
I don't need to know right now because I don't want to. I mean, I guess you can explain if you want.
so there's three little thingies. There's a red, a green, and a blue.
Okay, well,
And
I
every
know
single
that, but I'm
pixel is
saying,
those three thingies.
that's so many, lights.
Yeah.
That's so many it's, we went from fucking, I don't, black and white to the flat screen TVs, and, my mouth can't describe the words that I'm thinking right now, and that's what ADHD is, so I hope you
Yeah.
enjoy it. It's weird. Like, and because I want to be a voice actor, whenever I hear a voice now, I cannot fucking watch anything and not be like, and, gasping for air, like I know that person, and then I'm like, what the fuck? Because I was in the last episode. I talked about how I got into a Skylanders phase all of a sudden. Like I was just like, oh man, I remember Skylanders, and now I'm like all into Skylanders, and I spent like $100+ on Skylanders I didn't need on eBay because they were really cheap. But when they're really cheap and you buy like 14 of them, it starts to pile up. So um but anyway, but like I was listening and I was like, oh, there's a character T-Bone, and I'm like, oh, that sounds familiar. Like his voices sounds familiar. Like I don't know from what. And I looked it up, and it's fucking Keith Silverstein. And for people who don't know, he voices Speedwagon in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Keith fucking Silverstein? And then also he voices Mondo Iwata in Danganronpa. He also voices in Skylanders. He also voices Dino Rang and Bash, so that's cool.
Huh.
And then I was like, oh, Pop Fizz. He has a really like recognizable voice. I went like, what's that voice? He's fucking Pain in Hercules.
Hmm.
So that's interesting. And now I'm like, oh, that was the other fucking thing. I put Stump Smash on the portal, and I heard I'm like, there ain't no fucking way. You want to know who voices Stump Smash?
God, is that like the big tree dude?
Yeah, yeah.
I've heard his voice so many times before, but I can't think of who it is.
It's Kevin Michael Richardson, aka the guy who plays Trigon in Teen Titans.
Oh, the
He
original
plays
one or Go or both?
both. He also
Wow.
plays Shredder in the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But what I know him most for is he plays the Manatar in Gravity Falls.
Oh.
And I'm
The
like,
like
that's
the big one?
like the main one, the one that like Dipper first encounters.
Oh yeah.
Turkey. Uh, yeah, I don't know if he was just Manatar. I think the Manatar was the race. What was?
I don't
I don't remember what
know.
like, the original like uh Chutspar was his name
Oh,
in
Chudspar.
Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm like, that's just like I know they're just voice actors, like they just get hired to do things, but I'm like, that's such like a jump in universes. It's like it's so weird to like hear that. Same thing with like Matt Mercer. I fucking love Matt Mercer. Um, and I first fell in love with him because he played Jotaro in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But he's also Haiji in Danganronpa. He's also I'm trying to remember. He's in Attack on Titan. I'm trying to remember his character's name. But recently he also played fucking Ganon in Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like,
Nice.
I'm like, the guy from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is in fucking a Nintendo game. This wild to me. Oh, and he also plays a D&D group, and he's also been on Game Grumps, which is fucking awesome. It's I don't know, like sometimes I forget that like they're just people. Like this is just the job. Like I just like see them as the character. So like all I can think is what like no, you're this character. Why are you in this? Um I was watching Skylanders Academy. If you didn't know, Skylanders had a Netflix show. And I'm watching and in the third season, Spyro becomes Dark Spyro. He's basically evil Spyro. And I was watching it and I was like the whole time I'm like I can't take Dark Spyro seriously because all I heard the whole time was Dipper Pines because he was voiced by Jason Ritter and I'm like I cannot fucking take this seriously. He just sounds like Dipper. Uh and I'm like, it's so wild to me. It's
Oh boy.
like you hear a voice actor for the first time, and immediately they're just that character. That's who they are now. Like you can't see them as anyone else. Like, and I see Keith Silverstein as Speedwagon. I see Matt Mercer as Jotaro. I see Jason Ritter as Dipper Pines. And no matter who they voice, that's who they're always gonna be to me. So hearing them in any other role is just like wild. Same
Yeah,
thing
I
for
get that.
trying to think who voices Mabel from Gravity Falls. Uh, Kristen Shaw. I'll never unhear her as Maple. She's just Mabel now. Trying to think who else I can name.
Bro,
Um,
one of the most surreal experiences I had with voice actors was when I was like 10. And I
mhm.
was watching TV and I was like, wait, that guy sounds like Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then I realized, wait, people don't just voice one character.
Yeah,
Because I was so stupid that I thought people genuinely just voice acted one character.
and that was it. That was it for them.
Yeah.
Um, I have met oh, another fucking weird ass thing was that so JoJo's Bizarre Adventure also had an OVA. Um it- and there's a part where Dio is in the cab with the mayor, and the mayor is voiced by Charles Martinet, who voices Mario. And that's fucking wild as shit to me.
Yeah.
Also, he voices a dragon in Skyrim, apparently, because my friend was telling me about that. That's fucking weird. Bryce Papenbrook is one I have met in real life. He will always be Makoto Naegi from Danganronpa to me, because that's the first time I heard him. But he's also Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan. And he's also, weirdly enough, Silver the Hedgehog. Uh,
Oh, from
and
Sonic?
yeah, from Sonic. So that's weird. I'm trying to. Oh, I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Nickelodeon show because I was just talking about Shredder. The guy who voices okay, the guy who voices Raphael is Bob from Stranger Things. So there's that. Um, uh, I'm trying.
Hold on.
Mikey.
Where did you find that? I need to know where to watch that.
Stranger Things or Teenage Mutant
No,
Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Where did you find the 2012 version?
Oh, it's on fuck, where am I watching it? I'm watching it on Prime Video.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I need to know where to
Um
find the 2006 one too.
yeah, okay, so
Oh
um
no, the 2003 one. Because that is like one of my favorite shows ever.
oh yeah, I've been binge watching it recently. Donatello, I already knew this one, but Donatello is voiced by Rob Paulson, who also voices Yakko from Animaniacs. He was also Raph in the 1997 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I found out. Wait, 1987 or 1997? I can't remember. I think it was 1997. Anyway, and then Mikey also voices Beast Boy in Teen Titans. But that one I already knew. But it was the Raph that really took me off guard. But then what really took me off guard is there's one episode where it's like the fanboy guy, the pulverizer, and he comes on screen and he starts talking, and I'm like, that's fucking Sonic. That's Roger Craig Smith. And indeed it is. And I'm like, dude, that's just I can't unhear Sonic. He's just fucking Sonic. It's Roger Craig Smith.
Oh,
He's just fucking Sonic. And speaking of which, he recently retired from being the voice actor of Sonic, which I was very disappointed about. I mean, he had his reasons. Apparently, he didn't like the way they were running things, so I fully respect him for it. But what pains me is that a lot of people didn't like him as Sonic. But he's personally my favorite voice for Sonic ever. I think he does a great job at doing the right amount of sassiness. Like he's just got that Sonic voice in him. Like I think it just works really well. but a lot of people didn't like him. But he ran for a good 13 years, so I mean, but yeah. I mean, just like I think one big reason why I want to be a voice actor is so people can have that moment like, oh, that's Ziles, that's him.
Yeah.
Whoa. Like I voice in two different things and people can be like, whoa, that's like that. I don't know. There's something weird about that feeling of finding out like, oh, that's the same person. It's just like, I mean, it's one thing when you see them in like a movie, like, oh, look, it's that actor and they're there because you can look at them, you can see their face. But like a voice, you got to be like, wait a minute, no, no way, and then you look it up and you're like, what the fuck? Like I love that feeling. I could sit here and name like 1,000 times that I've done that, but um, yeah, like I mean, Tara Strong is in fucking 50 Things. John DiMaggio.
Tara
Uh,
Strong. Is she? No. She's not. She's in Teen Titans?
yeah, she's in Teen Titans.
Okay,
Um,
who is she?
Tara Strong is Raven.
Oh yeah, she's Raven.
Um,
Because I remember when I watched the original Teen Titans, I would see her name in the credits, and I would be like, and for some reason I remembered her, and I
oh
don't
yeah,
know
also
why.
another TMNT thing because I've been watching it, so I'm gonna have 1,000 things for this. But uh, the guy there's Leonardo watches a show called yeah, it's like some space. It's a Star Trek ripoff, basically, for
Yeah.
the show. And one of the like captains, like it's I don't know what he is in context of the show, but like the co-captain guy is voiced by the same guy who voices Robin in Teen Titans. Um,
Oh.
and then I also there was I'm trying to remember. There was someone voiced. Oh, I found out that Ricardio from Adventure Time was voiced by George Takei. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't
Oh,
realize that.
interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, we're already over time, but I guess we're balanced by voice acting. But
Yeah.
I super love voice acting. So, I mean, I could sit here and name like 1,000 times. Um. Anyway, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Council of Goatmen. I'm Goatman, and this is Axolotl.
Axolotl.
And we'll see you next time. Get the hell
See
out of
ya.
here. Fuck you. Get the hell out of here.